Rev it up and welcome to Cars Yeah, show number 1945. Be prepared to be inspired.
This is Cars Yeah, where you'll enjoy interviews with inspiring automotive enthusiasts. Mark Green is here to provide you with a fuel injection of automotive inspiration. So get in, sit down, buckle up, and get ready for a wild ride here on Cars Yeah.
Hello, inspiring automotive enthusiasts, and welcome to Cars Yeah. Today I'm in beautiful San Luis Obispo. Think of back to my history with Poly Royale with a very special guest by the name of Chad Ellman. Chad, welcome to Cars Yeah. Do you have it in gear, and are you ready to release the clutch?
I am ready to release the clutch.
All right. No flat tires today to hinder us, and you listeners will understand why I said that in just a moment. But before I give you a proper introduction, Chad, what's one little thing that most people may not know about you?
Oh, yeah. So I currently work in the automotive aftermarket industry, but my background is actually in tech and in video games. And what people probably don't know is that I was on the launch team for Xbox. And during that time, there was a show on the Discovery Channel that followed how games were built. And I was in that program that showed one of these really cool launch games that was part of Xbox called Crimson Skies: High Road to Revenge. So I have a deep kind of history in video games, and now I'm in cars and tires.
Xbox, yeah, I could remember buying those for my son for Christmas over the years, and he wasn't super immersed into the gaming world, which I was kind of happy about because some of these kids just, get so absorbed that's all they do. He was really into reading, but he did enjoy it, and I know many times I would go back there and watch what he was doing, and especially when he got into Forza and some of the car stuff, I'm like, okay, now you got my attention. I might be interested in this a little bit. So very cool. Well, let me give you a proper introduction. Chad Ellman is the marketing manager for global tire repair at Slime, where since 1969, Slime has been a pioneer and innovator in tire sealant and tire repair technology. He's a seasoned marketer that believes true creativity starts with innovation. Chad has been instrumental in launching key products at Gallo Wine Company, Microsoft, as we heard with Xbox, THQ, and ITW. As his role as Slime, he's creating cutting-edge marketing campaigns and even picking up a few patents along the way. Their new Pro Series Garage Inflation Station allows you to, I like the way that just rolls off the tongue, Inflation Station allows you to air up fast and easily at home. Chad has a passion for outdoor adventure. He loves to put slime and fix-a-flat to the test on or off the road. We'll be back in just a moment, but first a word from our valued sponsor, so give them a little listen and give them a little love. Better yet, give them a little business, and we'll be right back. My friends at Covercraft offer you 10 different options. That's right, 10 for your vehicle's protection. You can choose from Weather Shield HP, HD, Sunbrella, Ultratect, Reflect, Form Fit, Custom View Shield, and their newest 5-layer all-climate cover, 3-layer moderate climate cover, and a 5-layer indoor option. You have all sorts of ways to protect your car. All of these are custom tailored by Covercraft's talented craftspeople. It's the form and fit with the quality to attention to detail that's been their standard since 1965. Surface protection is the best way to preserve the investment you've made in your vehicles. It's what I do. Covercraft protects cars, trucks, motorcycles, RVs, trailers, and watercraft too. I have a Covercraft cover for every one of my vehicles, and I've got a deal for you. If you use the code YEAH21, YEAH21 at covercraft.com, they'll give you 10% off your order, plus you get free shipping. That's right, 10% off and free shipping. Just use the code YEAH21 at checkout. Covercraft, protecting the things that move you. I was talking with a buddy of mine the other day, and he asked me about American Collectors Insurance. He said, while I listen to you on Cars Yeah, you're always talking about agreed value collector car insurance. Well, I insure all my cars on my regular auto insurance policy, and I've done it for years. Why use a different company for my collector cars? I get a multi-car discount. Isn't that good enough? I suggested he call his carrier and ask how much he would get if his collector car was totaled or stolen. He called back and said, boy, that was a scary conversation. The value of my car wasn't even close to what it's really worth. Thank you for the education, Mark. So don't just hope for a fair claim settlement. Be certain and know exactly what you'll receive with an agreed value policy. American Collectors Insurance has been protecting enthusiasts since 1976. Give them a call today for your personal agreed value quote at 866-ACI. Yeah, that's 866-224-9324. Tell them you're a friend of Mark Green's at Cars Yeah. American Collectors Insurance, classic car insurance, designed by collectors for collectors, automotive enthusiasts just like you and me. They're the ones that insure my car. That's American Collectors Insurance. So, Chad, we're back. We're going to dive a little deeper in the corner here and talk about your career and your business. You know, slime is one of these products that when it first came out, I was really intrigued. And you and I had a great little chat before we started the show here today about tires and how they're really one of those neglected things on many people's cars, keeping them properly inflated. And right now with gas prices, 5 or 10 pounds in your tire can significantly change your gas usage to the positive side. So talk to me a little bit about slime, because I'd like to first hear about the history. Where did the company come from? Because this is, when it first came out, I went, what? How does this work? And then I went, oh, I see what they're up to. But you guys are much more than that now. So let's take a little ride through history.
Sure. Thanks again for having me on.
You bet.
So our company is based in San Luis Obispo, which is near Grover Beach, which is exactly where slime was created. And it was created by the Segelski brothers when they were in college at Cal Poly. And they had a passion for fixing flat tires, but geared for bikes, right? And so they wanted to fix flat tires. And as this business continued, it started to grow, and people would say, I love this stuff. How do I get more of this green, slimy stuff that goes in your tires? And that became the name for slime.
Yeah.
So that's how the company originally started, was fixing flat tires with this green slime that goes inside tires. And it only takes a little bit. And what that product does is when you have a flat tire, or if you already have one and you put this in your tire, that product then goes directly to that puncture and creates a long-lasting flexible plug for 2 years. So it's a great product that started in bike.
Amazing.
So now with that great innovation, it started, how do we then deliver that to automotive? So these sealants and other products that help people with tires has been created.
Sure. And you guys have expanded quite a bit beyond that with tire repair kits and gauges, inflators. And I mentioned in the intro this new inflator that you guys just launched. I believe it's SEMA. Is that right? Yeah.
So we launched it at SEMA. It's at AutoZone. It's called our garage inflation station. So what we realized is that we sell a lot of inflators, and your listeners might call them compressors or pumps, but we call them inflators. And so we realized that lots of people need to air up things in their garage, particularly around COVID. People have been doing more things in their garage. And when you get out there, you're trying to find your inflator. How do you plug it in? Do you plug it into your car? Do you plug it into the wall? So we have this great one that mounts directly to your wall. Anyone in your household can use it. It's air on demand as you need it. So you press a button and air up a tire. The way I like to think about it is everyone knows when they need water, they can just turn on their hose and get it.
Right.
But that's not the same thing at your house with air. So I wanted to create this item that you press the button and then anyone in your house can air up their bike tire, a sports ball, their tires to their car to get perfect gas mileage. So all of those things are really important, and we love this product. And it's right now at AutoZone and on slime.com.
Oh, it's very, very cool. You and I talked about this a little bit. I'm a stickler for air pressure. I've got a rather large compressor in my garage and a reel and everything. So I'm kind of set up. But in fact, all my neighbors come over to my house to get air. It's like, hey, Mark, can I borrow your air? You know, it's like, okay, yeah, happy to help. But that's one of the things that is so neglected. Do you have any kind of stats or ideas on even what 5 or 10 pounds does to your tire? I mean, obviously we know that it creates drag, reduces gas mileage. It also wears your tires out prematurely. And I tell you, I just put a new set of Michelins on my car, and tires are expensive.
So all those things, you have that exactly right. So having the perfect tire pressure or the correct tire pressure will significantly help your gas mileage can be up to 5%, 10%. It just depends on the vehicle. And that's super important. Also, it helps with the wear of your tires. So you don't have to replace your tires as often if you properly inflate them and rotate them at the right time. It's all super important. And because the cost of tires are going up, it's even more important right now to do so. Kind of an interesting fact, he said, if there are statistics, people always ask, the question we always ask, do you know how much air to put in your tire? And people always say, well, it's on the side of my tire. Well, that's not exactly right.
No.
So in your manual or in the driver's door jamb of your car will say the correct PSI, pounds per square inch, for your tire. And that's what you should be filling your tires up to.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other big key thing here is safety.
Gosh, yeah.
It doesn't take too many pounds down on your vehicle to not only affect handling, but can cause overheating of tires and can cause blowouts in tires. If you think back to, remember when Ford had that thing with Firestone tires with the Ford, we called them exploders because they were explorers, but they were blowing up and going off. And I don't recall how that all ended up, but I think it had a lot to do with inflation.
It did. It absolutely did. And that's one of the main reasons that these tire sensors, TPMS sensors, came to be, because that now alerts people to when their tire is way below pressure or above pressure. So it's super important to keep proper pressure. And that's why, amongst other things, why those tires were having such problems. So there's technology out there, but we still have to be really cognizant of putting the right amount of pressure in our tires.
The other thing going into the winter here is that when your tires and your vehicle is subject to cooler temperatures, your tire pressures go down significantly in colder temperatures. It's just a natural nature thing. So we're going into a season now where it's even more important, and keeping your tires inflated when there's a lot more moisture on the roads, snow, ice, and so forth. It just makes them grip better. So it's this new inflation station you've got, to me, is real cool because you've made it super simple. You don't have to have a compressor at home anymore or hose reels or any of that. I mean, I like to have the fancy stuff, but I'm kind of crazy that way. But honestly, I'd rather have something like this. I can just pull my car in, pull the cord off, and boom, you're done.
Yeah, it's very easy that way. We wanted to make it nice and compact. Sometimes if you have a compressor in your house, that takes quite a bit of room, right? So you don't really have the space in your garage to put that. This is very simple. It's like I said, we wanted to make it very easy to use to top off your tire. But I will say, if your tire is completely flat, it has a very fast motor in it. So on a standard tire, it'll inflate from flat to full in 4 minutes.
Really?
So
wow.
Super, super fast. It's part of our Pro Series line. Really proud of the work that the engineering department's done on this product and bringing this one to market.
I think it's cool. Now, you've also got some other products on your website that you sell, gauges. I'm always surprised how many people don't have a simple tire gauge to be able to even check their pressure. And so many times you go to gas stations or places to get air and the gauges don't work right. They're broken. They don't even attach to your valve stem. So having these things at home, they're inexpensive. They're great safety features. I think it's fantastic. And you offer all of them. We do.
And I want to point out one innovation that we have in several of our gauges. We created this technology called pressure airlock technology. So if you've ever used a gauge and you put it on your tire, the first thing you hear is this sort of hissing sound of the air coming out.
Right.
So then you're wondering, did I actually get the right pressure, or did I just lose everything that I just put in,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
And you never know. So we have these gauges that are pressure airlock technology. And the first time you use it, you're like, I don't really get it. I connected it to my tire valve stem and it's silent. Mm-hmm. And that's because it's locking the air in and you get a perfect pressure reading every time.
Nice.
We have about 5 gauges that are under this pressure airlock technology, and it is game changing. I know in the gauge world, it's not so huge, but it is game changing. And really, consumers are just loving this product.
No doubt. Let's go back to slime, because this is an interesting concept. And if there's anybody out there that hasn't heard of slime, I don't know where you've been, but let's just say that they haven't really heard or don't quite understand. It's got a fun name, which makes it easy to remember. And the color is cool. The lime green color is exciting and fun. So explain to the listeners out there, how does it get in the tire if you've got a puncture? What happens? I'm on the road. I've got a puncture. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I haven't been smart enough to put a air compressor in my car so I can fill it up, or a tire repair kit, which I told you in a pre-show chat, I used one on a lady's car this weekend. I was helping my kids move and saw a car that had a leak, and I helped the lady fix it so she could get to a repair station. How does the slime work? How does it get in there?
So there's different things that we have, and I'll kind of talk about it in two ways. If you're in an off-highway vehicle, and we'll just stay off-highway, things like an ATV or a bike or a mower, or even like, let's say, a wheelbarrow. You have a flat tire, and there is something in your valve stem called a valve core. We give you the tool to do that. You remove that valve core and squeeze the sealant in. And then once you squeeze that sealant in, you air it back up, and that'll fix that puncture. Now, what we suggest people to do, and this is one of the most difficult things, is when you first buy this off-highway vehicle, don't wait until you have that flat tire. Put the sealant in right away, because it'll continually repair or prevent you from having flats for 2 years.
What? Now, okay, this is something you just taught me something today, Chad, which is
so
cool.
Just for off-highway vehicles. We don't recommend it on highway vehicles because there could be some balance issues at high speeds, but every one of those off-highway vehicles that you have, it's fantastic.
Okay, so like my bicycle, mountain bike, you always seem to be getting flats on those things, which is a pain because it never happens when you're in your garage, right? It's always in the middle of a trail somewhere.
But an ATV, a mower, all of those things, actually even trailers, because those are unbalanced wheels, you can put it in a trailer. So like a boat trailer, you're ending up putting those to places that often have puncture devices on the ground, a goat head or a nail or something. And again, for 2 years, you could keep running over things and not even know you had a flat because you never will.
Right.
So that's for off-highway vehicles. And then for highway vehicles, we have lots of solutions. And my favorite one are these things that are called flat tire repair kits or mobility kits. These are also, you probably have seen them because they come in about 30% of cars now. A lot of cars aren't coming with spare tires anymore. They're coming with these mobility, or we call them flat tire repair kits. In fact, we make many of these for the OEMs, Ford, Tesla, Honda, the like. But what's great about these is most people don't know how to change a flat tire, and the job is really, really hard if you've ever had to change a flat tire. So it's a box that has sealant and an inflator all in one. And you take it, you plug it into your power port in your car, you attach it to your tire, press the button, and within under 10 minutes, your tire will be repaired from the sealant in the air, and you can get on your way and get your tire properly fixed within 3 days or 100 miles.
Wow. Okay, that sounds like something that you should put in every vehicle.
It is absolutely. When I show people this product, they're like, why don't I have this?
Yeah.
Why doesn't my 16-year-old new driver have it? Mm-hmm. Why doesn't my husband/wife have it? My brother, sister? It's coming around the holidays. Everyone is asking me, like, can I get one of those for X person? So it is the thing. And I think it's such a good solution for highway vehicles for safety.
Very cool. Is that available on your website?
It's available on our website, and it is available. You can go to pretty much any store, whether it's a Walmart, an AutoZone, an Advance, O'Reilly. It's available everywhere. We call it the flat tire repair kit.
Very cool.
But it's sort of a game-changing thing because so many cars now come with these, but it's such a simple product to fix your flat tire.
Yeah. Where were you back in the old days? Oh man, you could have saved me some headaches. That's for sure. I like to ask successful people about driving inspirations, people who are key mentors or influencers in your life. Is there a person like that in your history?
Yeah. I was thinking about this is, who's been inspiration, and it's funny. It comes right down. It's my brother, Brett. He's a great guy. And he's just, he goes at things with such calmness, innovation, and positivity in going through things. He's an engineer. He's really innovative in coming up with really great ideas and how to make products better and make the world a better place. He's a cancer survivor. He went through that with just that same innovation, calm, and positivity. I would say it's my older brother, Brett.
Yeah. I was going to ask if he's your older brother.
Yep. I'm the youngest, so that would be it.
Very cool. I love it. That's great. Let's take a short break. We come back. I want to talk about a big challenge, big obstacle you may have faced, and how you came through that in a positive way. So give our advertisers just a little listen here, and we'll be right back. I've discovered Linkage. It's a new quarterly publication and website that covers the automotive market, driving, restoring, collecting, and discovering your passion for motor vehicles. Linkage is about experiences, opinions, and values. Linkage is an actual informed, reasoned opinion based on first-hand experiences. A talented linkage team covers the automotive world. The people who share your passion and mine, smart, considered, rational, and experienced opinions. Ones you can learn from and grow. That includes our passion that drives auctions and the collector car market. So come with me and join us on this journey. And be sure to use the code CARSYEAH when you subscribe, and they'll give you $10 off. Boom! Linkage, geared for the automotive life. Subscribe today at linkagemag.com. Did you know that Cars Yeah is in the top 1% of all podcasts based on listenership, according to Libsyn, the premier RSS feed for podcasts in the United States? That's right. And Cars Yeah is the only 5-day-a-week automotive-focused podcast for you to get your message into the ears of thousands of listeners daily from all over the world. Plus, DuPont Registry recommended Cars Yeah is one of their top 10 car podcasts for you to enjoy. Cars Yeah has experienced tremendous growth, plus your ads are evergreen, meaning they never go away. And more listeners find Cars Yeah every day for their daily dose of automotive inspiration. Do you want to expose your brand to a highly targeted list of automotive enthusiasts in a very unique and very personal way? Well, I can help you. Contact me, Mark Green, at mark@carsyeah.com or through the website at carsyeah.com today to learn more. So let's talk about this big obstacle, big challenge, even a big failure. And what's more important here is that lesson learned so you could go forward in a positive way. So take us on a bit of maybe a bumpy road with a few flat tires.
Well, I sort of alluded to it a little bit, and it's a more of a product challenge, in that this slime product that we have is amazing, and it is hard to convince users that it's a great idea to put slime in their tires before they have the flat.
Yeah.
We will go out. I've gone out to sand dunes and talked to people who ride off-road vehicles, and they will say, "We love your product. We know it fixes flat tires," and they will carry a bottle with them, but getting them to put it in before. So, I would say this has been a big challenge from a product perspective, is how do we educate people that this could really make their life easier and get them to continue doing the fun things they like doing if they pre-install our product. I know this is sort of a product pitch, but I do think it's been such a challenge, because I think this could make people's lives so much better from flat tires if they pre-install it. It's like that Band-Aid beforehand.
I think part of the challenge here, and this comes from my history. I worked for 20 plus years at a company building a brand and selling products. And one of the things that we always got frustrated with and kind of joked about is trying to sell anything relating to safety was a challenge, because people don't think about safety until they need it. You could take something like a fire extinguisher. Every garage should have 2 fire extinguishers, 5-pounders at least, in the garage.
Yep.
Most garages don't have anything. And if they do, it's an old fire extinguisher that's tiny. It's hidden behind the boxes somewhere, and it's too late by the time you even find it, and it probably won't work. And trying to convince people that safety first, I know exactly where you're coming from. So have you guys found any unique ways, or I won't say tricks, because you want to trick somebody into buying, but ways to convince people that this is a great, because to the common guy listening or woman, this is a great idea.
It is. The part that we have done is really try to educate in different videos and advertisements and trade shows, and showing people that are sort of influencers in this way, like, wow, that's really cool. Like, it's great when I'm on a mountain biking trail and I see people have slime in their tire beforehand. So the other thing is that we have to understand that maybe people are thinking, okay, well, we're just going to use this as a repair. And once they use it the one time as the repair, then they'll use it as the preventative. So there's the education that we have to keep trying for. I wanted to tell a funny story as you were talking about fire extinguishers and safety, if it's okay.
Yes, please.
That we talk about not knowing what you need. So when I was young, probably maybe 8 years old, my dad had just come home from a hardware store called Lumber City in Agoura Hills, California. And when he came home, right when he came in the door, he actually had just bought 2 fire extinguishers. My mom was cooking something on the stove and had walked away. it was an oil. So we had an oil fire that had started. The whole kitchen was on fire. He had just walked in.
No way.
Just happenstance to buy 2 fire extinguishers.
Wow.
Pretty much saved our house. So being ready for those things would have been nice. So same thing with the flat tires is like, how do we prepare for these flat tires? We were lucky, and it's sort of that happenstance of putting out that flat tire or that fire. And we hope we can help people with flat tires as well with our products.
Oh, thank goodness what a serendipitous experience. My gosh. Yeah. Your mom probably thought your dad was a saint at that moment.
How did you know the ESP going on that you knew this was happening right now?
Yeah. Something like that never happened. Just like, well, I was going to go buy those and I didn't. So fires.
And it wasn't like he just happened to be at Lumber City. Oh, we should get a couple fire extinguishers, and came in, and that was that.
Oh yeah. I knock on wood, I have not ever had to use one in my home. I always carry them in all my cars, and I can't tell you, probably more than fingers on my hands, I've saved somebody's car using my fire extinguisher when they were standing on the side of the road and couldn't do anything. They're standing there watching what was happening.
Well, and I think that's, honestly, I find, because I carry different tire repair things in my car just because what I do for a living.
Sure.
But it's hard for me to drive by someone and not help them. So I'm constantly stopping by, whether it's a bicyclist or a car, fixing people's tires. And it's amazing how they're not prepared and how happy they are and how they wish they would have been. So it's good to be on my side where I can quickly fix someone's flat tire very easily and pass it along. There's been times that I've, we live near the university, Cal Poly. I noticed that there was a student's car that was parked in front of their house that had a completely flat tire, and I just dropped off as I drove by. I just left the flat tire repair kit, the ones I was telling you about,
Nice.
right next to the tire. I'm like, you know what?
Santa Claus.
If I was that kid, I'd be really happy. So
that kid's
really
parents,
cool. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned earlier, I helped a lady this weekend. We were helping our kids move, and she had a tire that was going down, and she was totally didn't know what to do. And it took me a little while because I used the tire reamer and then put a plug in there and then pumped it up with my little compressor. But what you guys have would have been even easier. So
we do sell those too. We do sell those reamer pluggers, and those are great too. I mean, they're great. Just a little more difficult to use. Takes a little more muscle, which apparently you have.
It did take a little bit. Yeah, if I fix them at home, where I've actually used a drill to drill through there, to get through the cord and everything. But I was able to fix this on her car. It's just laying in the rain was what made it not so much fun for me, because it was raining quite a bit that day. Let's talk a little bit about bucket list things in your life. Is there something you'd like to still? I mean, you're a young guy, so still accomplish in your life moving forward? Any things that are on the horizon? Great trips, adventures?
Well, my favorite things to do in the world personally is to travel and spend time with family. So I hope to do a lot more of that in the near future. COVID's had some effect on that, but that's my favorite thing to do in the world. Typically, the places I like to go to, I have to first get there on a plane, even though I end up like driving around and doing things in the car. So that's some things. I love traveling around Europe. That's great, but there's so many places in the world that I have not seen that I need to. Yeah,
we all do. We're all ready. Yeah. We're all pent up. Yeah.
And then, I think, from a business side, like what I want to do professionally, I just like to create new innovations and create new things. And I really would like to do things that are altruistic, that help people. I really would like something. I know tires is that, but that does feed my soul as a person, is to do things that help the world. So I want to keep doing that.
Well, I write a blog every week, and my blog this past week was exactly about that. I was titled "Service is the Thing," and it talked a bit about what this pandemic has done to many people. It's caused a lot of depression, a lot of mental challenges for people. And one of the ways I suggested you get out of that funk, and that's not to diminish depression at all, because it's a serious deal, is to find ways to help other people, because it really helps you internally, even if you don't realize it's helping at that moment, the feeling it gives you to help people. So service is definitely the key. And I'll remind our listeners, if you want to get my weekly blog, you can go to my website and sign up there. I'll send you my free Filler Up book. Speaking of slime and air, it's Filler Up, although it's gas caps, but you'll get it when you understand, or you'll understand when you see it. Let's talk about a special vehicle in your life. Brad, is there a special vehicle in your life that stands out for you? And maybe you can share a story about that ride.
Yeah. So One of the things that I think was really special is one of the brands I work on is Fix-A-Flat, and we turned 50 years old. We invented in 1970, so we turned 50
Oh my gosh,
in 2020,
that
right?
just made me feel old.
But one of the things we did is we did a giveaway, and we bought a 1970 Chevy C10 pickup.
Yeah.
Thing was awesome. We found the original owner. It was in, I think, Huntington Beach, California, and we had professional Formula Drift drivers, actually, that we worked with, who also do some work. Chris Forsberg and Dylan Hughes did a resto mod of this.
Wow.
And we ended up rebuilding this and giving it away. And the person that we randomly chose was this amazing person outside in Texas, that she was so excited. We could not have had a better person. She said, I'm going to take this to parades. I'm going to drive it everywhere. When she went to pick it up, she wouldn't let any of her family sit in it. She said, I'm driving it home alone.
Nice.
And it was just such a great experience to work and build this whole thing. We have a webisode series that you could watch this if you want. It's on our Fix-A-Flat website, and it's on YouTube, that if you want to watch the whole rebuild. But the whole build of this vehicle and how it came to be and how we celebrated our 50 years, I think it comes back to helping people. Like, you talk about vehicles that I'm attached to. I love that we made someone really happy with giving away this Chevy C10. It's just
cool.
so cool.
Yeah, that's a special vehicle story for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm going to crawl into your skull and be your car psychologist today. If you were manifest as a vehicle, what would Chad be, but more importantly, why?
Yeah, so, it's funny. It's probably not as exciting, but I am what I drive. I am a Subaru Outback.
Okay.
It's what I drive. I'm very much an outdoor enthusiast. I love camping. I love hiking. I love biking, all of those things. And that vehicle gets me to that location. And in a pinch, I can sleep in the back. That's all about it. So also, I'm a huge family person. If you ask me one thing that's important to me, or what I should be doing or want to be doing, it's hanging out with my family. They fit in that car, and I can take them to where I want to go. I don't need something flashy. I just need something that works really well and gets me to those outdoor adventures.
Fun. My son and his wife have a Subaru, and they bought it just for that reason. They love to go out camping, hiking. They like to go back in the woods, and they wanted a car that could do all that they wouldn't have to worry too much about. Plus, they live in San Francisco, and their car has to be parked outside. So having something fancy or high-end, they were worried somebody would damage it. And so this is kind of doing all that for them. And in fact, they just went to Crater Lake this past weekend in Oregon, hiked around and met up with some friends. And great vehicles.
Yeah, and I can relate to that. One of the greatest things, and it helps me, is on that vehicle, is that when you go to a snowy condition, an area, and there's the people flagging people to put on chains, so you need to put chains on your car, it's the best feeling in the world when they just wave you on.
Yeah.
So you're good. And so I know you said your family lives in San Francisco, very close to Lake Tahoe, and I've had that flag person waving me forward all the way into Lake Tahoe. It's a great experience. So anyway, I'm a Subaru Outback. I drive it. This is my second one, so I'll likely have another one.
Yeah, exactly. I've got another friend who has one that he likes to go out and camp, and he's kind of a loner, and he has this tent thing that is on the top of his Subaru, and then it folds out like a clam, has a little ladder, and he sleeps on top of his car. It's kind of cool.
They're fabulous. Those are really cool. I've yet to invest in one of those, but super cool. It gets you off the ground. And that's one of the things about camping that people hate. It's like sleeping on the ground. So how do we not sleep on the ground?
Right, exactly. Yeah. So he even joked one time, he goes, I can pull the ladder up in case there's any bears. And I'm going, you know what? If there's a bear, he's just going to walk up on your hood and jump on top of the car. But I think it's a pretty cool deal. My guests, I've all figured out the little secret sauce to life. And you mentioned it, and that is giving back to others and helping other people. That really is how you make yourself feel better and how you help people. Are there ways that you or your company, you mentioned this giveaway you did, which is cool, that you guys like to help others in the automotive sector or even in the world in general? Yeah.
So, first and foremost, we fix flat tires. So we hope to help that. That's an easy one. Like that's the easy, like
get you back on the road.
We get you back on the road safely and get you to where you need to go and not feel stuck. And I think that's the biggest thing. Our company is really big on different charities. We're really big in supporting United Way. We do a big United Way campaign. So that's also a great thing that our company takes part in. Then there's also things that happen, whether it's hurricane relief or earthquakes. We like to send products to help those people in need and people at risk, to help them, because you forget when those types of catastrophes happen, there's a lot of tires out there and there's a lot of things that you're rolling over. So any way that we can support with our product, we do. And then we also try to support with our pocketbook and our hearts, sometimes with certain charities. But just on a day-to-day basis, our products are fixing flat tires all the time.
You're all about
that's a good place to be.
You're all about getting people out of harm's way and back on the road, which is great. How about a book? Is there a great book you've read you'd like to share?
Yeah, so I'm in marketing, so I'll do a kind of a marketing book, kind of, but I think it's a book that everyone would sort of enjoy. It's a book called Why We Buy. It's by this author called Paco Underhill, but it's an older book. It's probably maybe 20 years old, I think, but it's great because it talks about how when you walk into a store, and you've probably had this experience, and how someone might merchandise a product. So even the way that clothes are folded or put in places really affect how someone might actually want to buy a product or to use something. There's some things that you're completely turned off to. You might go into a store and you see a pile of clothes and they're not folded. You're probably not going to touch those. But when something's displayed in a way that you can touch or feel it, there's all of those things. And I just find this book so interesting. I reread it from every now and again. But it's called Why We Buy by Paco Underhill. And it's short and easy.
Yep, I've had that book. I think it's still on my shelf from way back. That's a great one. Another one that kind of came to mind as you were talking was The Paradox of Choice. When you give people too many choices, they kind of shut down and don't make a decision. And so that was another one that kind of stood out to me in the history of buying, is don't overwhelm people. It's like going to those restaurants that have 20 pages of options. You're like, this is too much to choose from.
It's also really good parenting advice. I remember when my kids were little, 2 choices. That's it.
Yeah. Don't overwhelm them. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to go to the park or do you want to go to your friend's house?
Right. Yeah.
That was it, right? That was it.
Exactly.
Not where do you want to go? Then the blank stare.
Well, it kind of works for spouses. What would you like for dinner?
Right.
No, just, when I fix dinner, would you like chicken or fish tonight?
Yeah.
So, that works great. Let's go on the ultimate drive. I have a magic scepter, which allows me to take you on the ultimate drive. You get to pick any vehicle, any person, living or deceased, and you get to go anywhere. The wallet is huge. The checkbook is vastly filled here, so you can pick anything you want. What does the ultimate drive look like for you?
Yeah, this is interesting. So I like this. I think I'll start with the person.
Okay.
There's a graffiti artist. His name is Banksy. Not sure if you've heard of him.
Oh, yeah. Everyone knows, yeah.
Yeah, right. But no one knows what he looks like because he doesn't reveal who he is, right?
Yeah.
But he travels all around and really creates really unique artwork, particularly all through Europe. And so that's who I would like to put in a car.
Interesting.
And drive around and him to show me all the different pieces of art and why they were created and what was going on in his mind. And because his whole thing is how to make the world a better place through his art and pointing really big statements about things and calling kind of in a tongue-in-cheek, humorous way. So I love his work. I love what he does. I would love that. The car is less important. You could put me in a Fiat, right? You could put us in maybe, if I had to, maybe it was the old Mini Cooper, like the old Mini Cooper, just to have us cruise on one of those.
That kind of makes sense with a Banksy type adventure.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't sound that expensive. It would just be tough to get Banksy.
You can't figure out who he is. That's going to be a little bit of a challenge. So I'll get to work on that. Okay.
Yeah, please do. If this magic really works, let me know. I'll show up anytime.
Yeah. Well, that's a very creative answer. I've heard a lot of very unique answers to that question. Some of them pretty darn cool. But you definitely have hit us with a unique one and a challenging one as well. So I'll give that some thought. You've taken us on a wonderful ride today. This has been a lot of fun chat. And I'd love for you to leave, or before you leave, I'd love for you to leave.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Thanks, Mark. This is a really nice way to treat me. Before you leave us today, let me put it that way. Would you share a success quote, a mantra, or maybe some words of inspiration with our listeners?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that I have a quote or a mantra or something like that, but I think from what I've sort of talked about, I think, I focus on innovating in the world and how do you make things better or the world better. And that's sort of what if I could leave people with what I would like, is that's what I would like to do. Is just, how do we make the world better? How do we, when we touch something, make it better than when we first encountered it? And I just am such a fan for innovation and bringing new things and new technology. And I think that's followed me through my career and just what I like to do for fun too.
Sounds wonderful. I wish everybody took that approach to everything every day. What a nicer place the world would be. How can people learn more about slime?
Yeah, so I would hope everyone would come out to slime.com. We do a great job of talking about our products. We love what we do. If you meet anyone from this company, we are passionate about these products and building the best products to help you with your tires. But we do a great job on slime.com to learn about it. We also, you can check us out on Instagram and Facebook as well.
There you go. I'll put links to that. But you know, it's easy to find, just slime.com. How can you forget that? Great word, great brand. And I want to do a shout out. Thank you to Jared Holland, Publicity Factory, for introducing me to Chad today. Jared, thank you. You brought me some great guests. So doing your job. That's great. Chad, thanks for being so generous today with your time and expertise and for sharing your world of slime with us today. It's been fun. Until you and I talk again, I'll see you down the road.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
This has been great. How did you discover your path to a fulfilling life? Too many young people flounder in finding an education and a career that fits. But for those who have a passion for cars, trucks, and motorcycles, and who love working with their hands, problem solving, and fixing things, a career as a professional auto technician is incredibly rewarding. Cars Yeah! Is pleased to team up with TechForce Foundation, our charity of choice, in bringing scholarships, technical education, and hands-on experience to young people so they can discover a possible future. Join me and lend your support by visiting techforce.org today.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's ride here at Cars Yeah! Drive on over to carsyeah.com to find show notes and inspiring automotive fun. Download your free copy of Filler Up, a fun book filled with gorgeous photographs of fuel filler fun, including quotes from more inspiring automotive enthusiasts. Download your copy today, and we'll see you next time on Cars Yeah!